shoelace. Someone, whoever is doing these designs, I'm not going to go there, but there is some weirdness going on. Hey everyone, welcome to another video. We're going to be talking about Balenciaga today, the problem with Balenciaga, everything that's gone wrong with that brand, and how I personally feel as though it was flying high, and I don't know whether it's greed or, you know, corporate greed, money, bad decision making, etc. But I feel like that brand, or bad design, I feel like that brand has been really run into the ground, and now is a brand that I'm not seeing a lot of people want to associate themselves with and wear. And in fact, even I've got some Balenciaga pieces that I bought a while ago, and we're going to be talking about Preloved, because people don't want to buy your Balenciaga stuff off you. I don't really blame them, but honestly, I put this bag up for sale, and the website I put it for sale on was like, oh, you can sell it for £200. And I was like, I paid £1,200 for it. I will not let it go for 200. I'd rather hold on to it forever than do that. But this is what I'm saying, Balenciaga is really not worth it anymore. People don't want to buy it, and if you do sell anything, you're going to be on lowball offers, that's for sure. But what is the problem with Balenciaga? Well, I think one of the biggest elephants in the room was the scandal that happened at the end of, I think it was 2022. I'm not going to go into loads of detail on it because it was grotesque what happened, and if you're watching this and you don't know what I'm talking about, go and Google Balenciaga 2022 scandal. It was basically an ad campaign that I don't know how anyone signed off. In fact, I don't even know how anyone planned that in the first place and thought it was a good idea. It was gross, and it ruined that brand. From that point on, I would go past Balenciaga stores in town and they would be empty. But you look at other stores like Dior, Chanel, they'd be bustling. But I'd look into Balenciaga, particularly after that scandal, and as I say, there'd be no one in there except the staff. And I think it's a real shame that they did that to that brand. And then from there, they've kind of gone down this road where a lot of the stuff they're producing is weird. Then they got hit by the Made in China scandal, because Balenciaga is one of a few brands that it looks like, when I've done my research, and correct me if I'm wrong, this could be incorrect, but when I've done my research, it looks like Balenciaga actually do manufacture a lot of their stuff in China and sell it for huge amounts of money. And I think that there is this connotation whereby, I don't know whether it's very fair really, but there's a connotation that when something's made in China, it must have been made on the cheap, and therefore, how can you possibly flip something to us for a lot of money, claiming that it's a European brand when it was never made in Europe. Demna was, until recently, the creative director at Balenciaga, and he actually joined back in 2015. I feel those early days where he got there, I feel as though he was a real change maker. He was a real disruptor. You had a brand that was disruptive. It took fashion and made it edgy, borderline so edgy that a lot of things weren't and aren't always wearable. It pushed things to the extreme. And actually, I remember, how many of you remember the knife boots? I remember these were like the thing to be seen in around about 2016, 2017. And various other things from Balenciaga, like I've actually got a few of their clothing pieces. The hourglass blazer, which is beautiful. I love that blazer. It doesn't have logos on it, which is why I do still wear it, because no one knows that it's Balenciaga. So what has it done to the Preloved market? Well, before doing this video, I'm selling some things at the moment, and I already know that when it comes to Balenciaga, the Balenciaga item I've listed compared to other things I've listed is not getting the views. People aren't interested in this brand. They're not interested in this brand. And I think it's because some of their designs have got a little bit wacky and therefore not wearable, but also that campaign that if you're into fashion, a lot of people remember it and they're like, yuck, I don't want to wear that brand because I don't want to associate myself with that they did. I think a lot of brands recently with price rises are seeing an impact on Preloved. So for example, Chanel is a very interesting one because their pieces, particularly the classic flap, are very sought after, very iconic, very desirable, but they've made them so expensive that now if you look Preloved, you can actually buy nearly new classic flaps for like 40% off on Vestiaire Collective, etc. Because no one's willing to pay on a jumbo like 10k, but they'll just about consider 7. And 7's still a lot. Like for a Chanel bag, when you can get an Hermes bag for that kind of money, might not be the brand for you, but I feel like having owned now a couple of Hermes pieces and Chanel, the quality of Hermes and their leather is like second to none. This is just what I'm noticing. Whereas Chanel, I feel they feel a bit more mass produced. Now I don't want to say a roast, but we are going to look at some weirdness that Balenciaga are selling right now, just to kind of demonstrate the point that I think they've taken fashion, and you might be someone who would wear what I'm about to show you. You might be someone who has bought what I'm about to show you, and I'm not poking fun at anyone that has done this. I'm just trying to say that, and of course my taste is quite like bland, you could say that, so a lot of you might say, well, you wouldn't wear that, but other people would. I know, but I'm just trying to point out that some of the items they have for sale, I feel they are laughing at us. So the first thing is this. This is a roll of parcel tape. Now, and this is what I'm saying, they're selling it as a bracelet, a bangle. It's nearly £1,000. It's £925. Gaffer tape bangle in matte transparent. My question really is, does it function like tape or is it like a lump of plastic? I'm not sure. Is it literally a roll of sellotape? I'm not sure. But this is what I'm saying with Balenciaga. And I've got more to come on this as well, more craziness. They even came out with those shoes just recently that are like barefoot shoes, and I've seen so many reviews on them from people saying that your feet get filthy dirty in the street. They're uncomfortable, they rub, they look like they should be comfy, but they're not, and they're very expensive for what they are, just like a piece of rubber, really. And of course, all these brands do this. All these brands sell stuff for a markup that is ridiculous. The next, and again, this is personal taste, but these sunglasses, they're quirky, they're weird. I don't think they're very mainstream, but I don't think they're meant to be. But what I'm really talking about here is the price, you guys. Okay, so whatever you think about the design, whether you love it or hate it, they're £840. £840 for sunglasses? And they don't even have arms. It's like a band that goes around your head. And by the way, that choker necklace there, that is like a watch that doesn't have a watch face, yes, and it's a necklace. That is £650. Someone, whoever is doing these designs, I'm not going to go there, but there is some weirdness going on. Okay, so this is a bracelet, and it's, well, look at it. It looks like a rag. To me, it looks like a rag, but if it was sort of like a couple of £100, it's still too much money for what it is. But if it's a couple of £100 and it's Balenciaga and you're a big fan, you could be like, yeah, fine. It's £550 for like it looks like a shoelace. Now the next thing, which I just think this is like, it's actually sold out, which says a lot. Guys, look at this. Oh, come on. Really? It's the necklace with a Lamborghini key fob on it. What does that say about the person wearing it? That's like another level of flex, particularly if you get in your Honda and drive away after. Not that there's anything wrong with Hondas, but I'm just saying, why would you wear it? Unless you own a Lamborghini, and even then it's a bit flamboyant, isn't it? It's £5 off 700 quid for this necklace that is actually sold out. So if you like it, let me know what you think. You might completely disagree with me and think that that's a great thing, and that is fine. The next up is this, which again is ridiculously expensive. It's £260, and it's, you know when you go to a festival or a concert and they put those fabric bands on your wrist and then tighten it up so it doesn't come off? It's one of those. Moving on from that, another one which I think is ridiculous is this. This is £275, nearly £300, and you get one. If I just spent £275 on this, not that I would, because I think that they're laughing at us for that. That is they're having a laugh. If you put that on your case and someone notices it's Balenciaga, they're just going to steal it. But even if they don't notice it's Balenciaga, because the logo is not huge on that, priority is the word that's bigger, it's just going to get battered in the hold. Honestly, I mean, you could put it on your hand luggage, I suppose. And then just a couple more. A crisp packet, clutch, purse, wallet, bag thing. Nearly £1,500. It's £1,450, and this is it. I mean, again, I think with fashion, you've got art, and there is art in everything, and then you've got ridiculous. And I can't figure out with that whether, and I genuinely mean this, I can't figure out with that crisp packet, and with all the other bits I've shown you, but the crisp packet, whether it's art or whether it's silliness. So this is what I'm saying. Demna has moved to Gucci, and I am worried for Gucci, because Gucci is very monogram-tastic, very big logos and screamy logos, etc. And you either love Gucci or you hate it, in my opinion. I quite like it, but there's a time and a place for Gucci. I've got a few of their pieces that I love, but they're very big monogram logos, and I've got to be feeling a certain type of way to wear them and have a certain place to wear them too. But what is Demna going to do over there? Is he going to bring the crisp packet design to Gucci? Is he going to make Gucci weird? Are we going to start seeing a slip in designs where Gucci starts looking bizarre? Let me know what you think. Guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope to talk to you all in the comments about your thoughts on this.